My brother Mateo looked at my daughter Zariah and said those words with a smirk on his face. The words hung in the air like poison. Zariah's little hand tightened around mine. She had been so excited to spend the weekend at the beach, talking about building sandcastles for weeks. She had even packed her favorite bucket and shovel days in advance, asking me every morning if it was time to go yet. "Your daughter has no place at the beach house." Mateo repeated it, this time louder, making sure everyone in the living room heard him clearly. He let out that same irritating little laugh he'd had since we were kids, the one he used when he thought he had won something. "This is a family vacation, for real family only." Zariah went completely silent. Her big brown eyes started to fill with tears, but she tried to hold them back. She looked at me, not understanding why her uncle would say something so cruel. My mom was in the kitchen doorway pretending to be busy on her phone. My sister Esme sat on the couch, suddenly very interested in her glass of wine. Mateo's wife nodded in support of her husband, adding fuel to the fire. "Is she adopted?" she asked. Before I could answer, Mateo continued. "Then, technically, she's not part of the bloodline. The beach house has always been for blood relatives only." I felt Zariah's hand trembling in mine. She was trying so hard not to cry in front of everyone. That's when something inside me shifted. It wasn't anger, it was clarity. "Then there's no beach house," I said calmly. "I'm canceling everything." Mateo froze mid-laugh. The smile was stuck on his face as if someone had hit pause. My mom's head shot up from her phone. "Are you serious?" she whispered. I smiled and said nothing. I just took out my phone and started typing. "Wait, what do you mean, cancel?" Esme finally spoke, her wine glass forgotten. "The reservations," I said simply. "The entire weekend. Consider it canceled." Mateo composed himself and laughed again, but this time it sounded forced. "You can't cancel our family vacation. Don't overreact." "Watch me," I said. I picked up Zariah and started walking toward the door. "Hold on," my mom called out. "Let's not be hasty. Mateo was just joking." "It didn't sound like a joke to Zariah," I replied. "And I don't think children should be the target of adult cruelty, whether it's a joke or not." Mateo rolled his eyes. "Oh, please. Are you really going to make a scene because I stated a fact? The beach house is for family, real family." "You're absolutely right," I agreed. "Yes, it is for family." Something in my tone made Esme sit up straighter. Mateo's wife whispered something to him, but he ignored her. "So you understand?" he asked. "The beach house is for us. You can still come, of course. Just find somewhere for the kid to stay during our vacation." Zariah buried her face in my shoulder. I could feel her tears soaking through my shirt. "I understand perfectly," I said. "I'm going to make the calls right now." My mom took a step closer. "Honey, maybe we should all calm down and talk about this like adults." "There's nothing to talk about, Mom. Mateo made his position crystal clear. Zariah isn't welcome, so no one is welcome." "That's not what he meant," Esme tried to mediate. "He just thinks Zariah might be more comfortable somewhere with other kids. You know how boring the beach house can be for children?" "She seemed pretty excited about it 5 minutes ago," I said. Mateo looked at his watch dramatically. "Look, I don't have time for this emotional manipulation. We're supposed to leave early tomorrow. I've already taken time off work. The kids are all packed. You're not going to ruin this family vacation because your feelings got hurt." "My feelings are fine," I said. "But the vacation is definitely canceled." "You can't just cancel it," Mateo insisted. "Who do you think you are?" I didn't answer. Instead, I sent the first message from my phone. About 30 seconds later, my phone rang. I answered it on speaker. "Mrs. Santiago, this is Luis from Pacific Coast Property Management," a voice said. "I just received your message about the reservation. Would you like to cancel the entire stay for this weekend?" "Yes, that's right, Luis," I said calmly. "Please cancel the entire reservation effective immediately, and please deactivate all access codes tonight." The room fell silent. Mateo's mouth hung open. Esme set down her wine glass with a shaky hand. "But ma'am, your family has been planning this trip for months," Luis said with concern. "The property was blocked out specifically for your guests. Are you absolutely sure about this decision?" "Completely sure. Deactivate all access codes tonight. No one is to enter the property this weekend." "Understood. I'll process the cancellation immediately. The security system will be updated within the hour." I hung up. Mateo stared at me. "What was that?" "The cancellation you didn't think I could make," I said. "Wait," Esme said slowly. "Pacific Coast Property Management. That's the company that manages the beach house." "Yes," I confirmed. My mom's face had gone pale. "How do you have their number?" "I have all their numbers, Mom. Direct lines, actually." Mateo shook his head. "This doesn't make any sense. You're saying you called the management company? So what? They don't take orders from you." "Actually, they do," I said. "They take orders exclusively from me." The silence in the room was heavy. "What are you talking about?" Mateo demanded. I shifted Zariah to my other hip. She had stopped crying and was now watching the adults with confused curiosity. "The beach house," I said simply, "is mine." Esme's wine glass slipped from her hand, splashing red wine all over the cream-colored rug. No one moved to clean it up. "That's impossible," Mateo sputtered. "Grandpa left the beach house to all of us. It's been in the family for 40 years. "Grandpa left the beach house to me," I corrected him. "Specifically to me, 10 years ago." My mom sank into the nearest chair. "But we've used it every summer. We thought it was still in the family trust." "It is still in the family," I said. "My family. I've let you all use it because I thought we were all family. Apparently, I was mistaken about who counts." Mateo's face turned a deep shade of red. "You're lying. Grandpa would never leave the entire property to just one person. He left it to the grandchild who actually visited him every week for the last 5 years of his life," I said. "The one who took him to his doctor's appointments, organized his medication, and made sure he wasn't lonely. That was me, Mateo. You visited him twice in those 5 years." "This is insane," Esme said. "Why didn't you tell us?" "I did tell you. 10 years ago, right after Grandpa's will was read. You said, 'Congratulations.' Then you asked if you could still use the house for your anniversary. I said yes. I've been saying yes ever since." My phone buzzed with a confirmation message from Luis. The cancellation was complete. "So every summer," Mateo said slowly, "every long weekend, every family gathering at the beach house, you were the owner." "Every single one," I confirmed. "And you never mentioned it," he said. "I mentioned it once. You forgot. You all forgot because you didn't care who owned it, as long as you had access." Mateo's wife grabbed her purse. "We should go." "Don't bother," I said. "I'm the one who's leaving. Zariah and I have a beach house to go to all by ourselves." "Wait a minute," my mom said. "Let's not be impulsive. Mateo was wrong. He didn't mean what he said." "He meant every word. Mom, it's okay. He's entitled to his opinion about who counts as real family, but he's not entitled to my property." Esme stood up. "This is crazy. Are you going to break up the entire family because Mateo said one stupid thing?" "I'm not breaking up with anyone," I said. "I'm just withdrawing an invitation that was clearly not wanted. Mateo said Zariah has no place at the beach house. He was very specific about bloodlines and real family." "Fine. I'm just respecting his wishes by taking my daughter somewhere she is welcome. You're all welcome to find your own beach house." I added, "I hear there are some nice rentals available. Expensive, especially this close to summer, but available." Mateo finally found his voice again. "You can't do this over one comment." "Watch me," I said, heading for the door with Zariah. "Wait," my mom called. "Please, let's talk about this." I turned around. "There's nothing to talk about, Mom. For 10 years, I have shared my property with this family free of charge. I never asked for help with maintenance, never charged for utilities, never limited your access. The only thing I asked for was that we treat each other with respect and love." "We do," my mom protested. "Really? because your son just told my daughter she doesn't belong in our family in front of everyone, and nobody said a word to defend her. Nobody told him he was wrong. You all just sat there." The truth of that sentence hung in the air. Zariah whispered in my ear, "Can we still go to the beach, Mommy?" "Of course, sweetie," I said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "We're leaving right now, just us." My phone buzzed again. Another text from Luis. "Access codes updated. New codes sent to your private email. Have a great weekend, Mrs. Santiago." "The codes have already been changed," I announced. "If anyone shows up at the beach house this weekend, the police will be called for trespassing. Luis is very good at his job." Mateo slumped onto the couch, his earlier confidence completely gone. "This is unbelievable." "What's unbelievable is that you thought you could insult a 6-year-old child and still expect to enjoy her mother's property," I said. Esme's phone rang. She glanced at the screen, then looked at me with wide eyes. "It's my husband. He's already at the beach house with the kids. The codes aren't working." "They're not going to work," I confirmed. "Not this weekend, not next weekend, and not until I decide otherwise." "You're really doing this," my mom said quietly. "I really am," I agreed. "Zariah and I are going to have a wonderful weekend at the beach, building sandcastles, collecting shells, maybe having ice cream for breakfast, enjoying some family time." I opened the door. Zariah gave a shy little wave over my shoulder. No one waved back. They were too stunned. "One more thing," I said before I left. "The beach house isn't just for this weekend. It's mine all year, every holiday, every summer, every long weekend. I've been generous with access because I loved having the family there. That's over now." Mateo stood up. "How long are you going to punish us for this?" "I'm not punishing anyone," I said. "I'm just being clear about my boundaries. Zariah isn't welcome. Fine, then no one is welcome. It's that simple." "So, we're banned forever?" Esme asked. "Forever is a long time," I said. "Let's start with indefinitely and see how it goes." I closed the door behind me and walked to my car with Zariah. She was quiet until we were buckled in. "Mommy, do you really own the beach house?" she asked. "Yes, sweetie, I really do." "And Uncle Mateo didn't know?" "He forgot. A lot of people forgot." "Are they mad at us?" "They're not mad at you, honey. They're mad at themselves." As we drove away, my phone started buzzing with calls and texts. Mateo, Esme, my mom, even my dad, who had been conveniently absent during the whole scene. I let it all go to voicemail. Zariah watched the scenery pass by her window. "We are going to the beach house?" "Absolutely," I promised. "Just us." "Just us," she repeated. She thought for a moment, then smiled. "That sounds perfect, Mommy." And it was. We spent the entire weekend at the beach house. Zariah built the biggest sandcastle of her life. We ate ice cream for breakfast on Saturday. We watched the sunset from the deck both nights. We collected so many seashells we had to find an extra bag for the drive home. My phone didn't stop buzzing all weekend. Apologetic messages from Mateo. Texts from Esme trying to play peacemaker. Voicemails from my mom begging me to reconsider. Even Mateo's wife sent a long message about family forgiveness. I didn't answer a single one. On Sunday night, as I tucked Zariah into one of the beds at the beach house, she looked up at me with sleepy eyes. "This was the best weekend ever," she said. "It really was," I agreed. "We're a real family, Mommy." My heart broke just a little. "We are the realest family there is, my love. Don't you ever doubt it." "Even though I'm adopted?" "Especially because you're adopted. That means I chose you. I wanted you so much that I went and found you. That's very special." She smiled and closed her eyes. "I love you, Mommy." "I love you too, sweetie. So much." As I watched her fall asleep, I thought about Mateo's words, about bloodlines and real family, about who belongs and who doesn't. Then I thought about the beach house, sitting empty most of the year, while I let my family use it whenever they wanted. About all the times I'd said yes without a second thought, how I never mentioned my ownership because it felt petty to remind them. But here was the thing Mateo and the others forgot. Respect isn't about blood. It's about how you treat people. And if you can't treat a 6-year-old child with basic kindness, you don't deserve the privileges that come with being family. My phone buzzed one last time, a message from my dad. "Your mom told me what happened. We need to talk." I typed a simple reply. "No, we don't. The beach house is closed for family events indefinitely. That's all." Then I turned off my phone and went to sleep in my own house beside my daughter, listening to the waves crash outside our window. "This is just the beginning," Mateo had said, laughing. He was right about that. It was just the beginning of Zoraya and me having the beach house all to ourselves, and that was perfect for us.